Welcome to Real to Real Talk. I am your host, Paul Britton. I don't know. Look, I'm still getting used to stuff. Okay. So I don't know why it was showing the Odyssey just now. And that's okay. We can have weird things going on. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll be all right. Uh, Today, I'm going to be talking about a movie that was released this weekend, which was um not really a movie. It was a live recording of a staging of Hadestown, which was a Tony Award winning best musical from, I believe, 2016, mid 20 teens. And what they did was they brought back the original cast and had them all come together and put on a few stagings on the West End of London, and recorded it. And they were like, "Here you go. This is what we got for you." And it was amazing. I mean, look, this is not a music. Straight up, I love musicals. Okay, so that is really important right off the bat to understand. I love musicals. Um, the the really important thing to understand with this one is that I hadn't ever seen it before. So um and the last musical where I went in totally blind and was like, "Oh cool, let's see if I like this thing," was Hamilton. And by gum, if I didn't absolutely love it. And then we took a little bit of time off from seeing brand new musicals on television, or not on television, but the Hamilton I saw streaming, this one in the theater. And we come around and Hadestown starts up, and I reach out to a friend of mine who's a big musical theater person. I said, "But I like Hadestown." She's like, "Talk to my sister." I don't know. I'm not a Hadestown person. She is, and I asked her, "Would I like Hadestown?" And she said, "Oh, I love it. It's so good, but it's really really sad." And I was like, "I can take sad. I can take sad." And um, I look, it's based on a Greek myth. It's based on the Greek myth of what's going on here. I had this all. I apologize. I had this all queued up. Um, it's based on the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. Oh fuck. Uh, Orpheus and the woman he fell in love with. Um, and it's and also they're closely intertwined with their love story is Hades and Persephone. And Hermes is the person who tells the tale. And they said it in the 1920s, and so most of the musical numbers are styled around 1920s sort of jazz. It's a musical theater version of jazz, and so it's yeah, it's jazzy. We'll call it jazzy. It's musical theater jazzy. And like any musical that you see, some of the numbers really work and some of the numbers don't necessarily always work. But the opening number where I mean they so the interesting thing about if you've ever read like a play from from a Greek tragedy or anything like that, the opening is always an introduction. Okay, the opening is always, "Hey, here are our players. This is what's going down," and it's literally like just goes down and says, "Here are the people in this thing." And sure enough, they did that in the musical, and it's just an absolutely banging opening number, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was in. Like, I was in from moment one, and then, we're sitting there, and the musical reaches a very, emotional core moment, and I said, "Oh, this smells like a good time for I leaned over I actually went with the friend of the she's my friend too, but I actually went with my friend to see it. Um, and I leaned over to my friend, "Oh, this seems like a good spot for an intermission." And actually, I was one musical number off. Usually you want your intermission to be like right before a banger number, like in Wicked, it's right before the big number for the Wicked Witch of the East, or Wicked Witch of the West. And in this case, the prior number would have been the appropriate moment to go to intermission. That's okay though. You can't. Not everything can be perfect. And here's the thing: is I had read the myth of Orpheus before, but long ago. So I didn't really remember everything that went into it. But by about the time we were going into the intermission, I was like, "Oh, it's coming back to me. I remember what happens." And I mean, it's interesting because in that opening number, they talk about how what you're about to watch is a tragedy. It's a sad story, and then at the end, cry, 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 cry. They call that back, and they call it back and say it's a tragedy, it's a sad story. And it really does it does a moment where it introspects into what what makes us come back to these things, and what makes us come back to these stories. And it's like, it's because of the way you feel right now. And it just fantastic, like just a chef's kiss of an ending. The I like, it's interesting because musical theater frequently can uh hinge heavily on the cast, and a lot of times, oh my god, the original cast, the original cast, the original cast. And I'm here to tell you, oh my goodness, the original cast. It really was. I have no idea what it would look like to see, a traveling, a touring production. But I will almost definitely see a touring production, because this was fantastic. Here at Real to Real Talk, instead of giving out stars, we hand out tacos. And if we feel like something deserves a little bit of extra tacos, we will add guac, rather than saying, well, this was 3.5 tacos. We will say 3 tacos plus guac. Why? Because nobody eats a fucking half a taco. This was 4 tacos plus guac. It's not a movie. All right, it is a recorded production, a recorded stage production, which is totally different from a movie. But hey, it made $10 million. It was second, and it was third in the box office after the Odyssey, which came around for another $90 million, and then just barely nipping at the heels of Moana. So yeah, I'm counting it. I'm here to review things that I saw in the theater, I guess. And Hades Town gets 4 tacos plus guac. 100% worth going to see. Which is more I can say about than 72 Hours, which was a Netflix movie starring Kevin Hart. And I'm sure that movie, like, just absolutely did banger business for Netflix, and everybody watched it. And I'm equally sure that a lot of people watched it and were like, "Oh, what did I just do? What did I just do?" Because when I started it up, my initial reaction was, "Ugh, what am I doing here?" It's just not. It is bad. And just not funny, and you know where it's going, and you don't care that it's going there, and you wish it would go somewhere else because you don't want to watch it anymore. I literally spent the entire time just wishing it would be over already. And that's bad. You typically you don't want that. Typically you want to put in a movie and enjoy yourself, and actually laugh. I started laughing at the end. Like, I literally spent the first 2 acts thinking, "I don't think I fucking laughed once." The first act of this movie is one of the is just the most asinine, stupid setups I've ever seen for a movie ever. So Kevin Hart is an ad agency, is a creative, in an ad agency, and he develops a terrible pitch, and, his boss tell and the, the head creative is available at this, agency, and his boss tells him, if you don't knock this pitch out of the park, we're gonna have to give the head creative to somebody else. It's just so ugh. Kevin Hart ends up on the text chain of a group of Gen Zers who are they're one of their buddies is the first of their buddies is getting married, and so they're doing a bachelor party in Miami. And so Kevin Hart's like, "Oh, I'll help fund this thing if I can hang out with you," because he needs to connect with younger people. And from there, it's just stupid. It's just like this, if you want to watch a good bachelor party movie, what rent Bachelor Party. If you want to watch a good bachelor party movie, rent fucking The Hangover. This is crap. It's just total crap. I was gonna do one taco. I did laugh during the third act. I thought some of the things that went on at the end, the resolution to some of the things were funny. So I'm doing one taco plus guac. I'm being really fucking generous. This thing sucked. The next thing we're gonna do is another Netflix movie that I saw while I was after watching 72 hours. I was like, "Oh, this is new also. What is this?" It's something that's not my speed. Okay, so it's a documentary, which I was like, "Oh, cool, a documentary." But then it's basically a true crime documentary that instead of doing a series, which I easily avoid because I never watch series when I go into Netflix. I'm exclusively a movie guy, but this one they did a movie, and so I was like, all right, I'll watch this. Sure, I'll add it to the program. My and I mean, like, I guess if you like true crime stuff, it's fine. Like, it's the story of a con woman who falls in love and marries a con man, and they try to con the man's ex fiance out of her share of a condo, and I don't care. Two tacos. I just don't care. Like it's if you like true crime stuff, I would watch it. Tell me what you think, I guess. I'm not I don't care. I think is the problem is that I just don't care. We are returning to I Can't See Everything, where I go back and find things that are streaming that were in theaters 3 or 4 or 5 months ago. This time we're going to do Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. This is one that I really, really wanted to see when it was in theaters, but I ended up, I was traveling at the time when it came out, and I am so, like, week to week, just seeing so many things. I see as many movies as I can in theaters. It's really difficult for me to go back and see something that has been out for a few weeks. Um, I prefer to review stuff that's just coming out fresh. And so I just never got around to seeing this. I saw it was on Hulu. I was like, awesome, I'm watching it. I really liked the first movie, Ready or Not. Woman gets married. Her husband, it turns out, is her husband's family is a group of Satanists who have pledged their undying loyalty to Satan himself. They have to play a game before a newly wedded member can enter into the family. And she accidentally it's a random selection of a game. And the game that she picks is hide and seek. And that's the one game you don't want to pick because that means that they have to hunt her down and kill her. And there's no way you can change it and blah, 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 blah. And then, the whole point of the movie is if she can survive, she gets everything. This time again, turns out that they weren't the only Satanists, that they were part of a Satanist conglomerate. international, a multinational uh network, we'll call it that, a multinational network of Satanists. And since she won, she now has to win again against the conglomerate, the multinational network of Satanists, playing the same game, um, and uh, and survive, and she gets everything. And this time they kick it up a notch by bringing her sister along. And I, the first one I enjoyed. Again, here I am watching Ready or Not 2. Here I come, and enjoying myself. You know, call me crazy. I don't know. It's it is a comedy horror, and I was like, I enjoyed the first one, and the second one was perfectly fine. This is just quintessential three tacos. Maybe not the best tacos, just like, late Friday night tacos, not the fancy restaurant tacos, or which would be great, or not even taco truck tacos, which would be the best. But just, it's perfectly fine. Um, that's it. That's all. I did 4 movies this week. I think that's good. Real to Real Talk. I'm Paul Britton. We'll be back next week with Spider-Man. The next installment. I am super stoked for that, and you know, I think everybody else should be as well.